Good morning, and welcome to Redeemer Lutheran Church. I'm Pastor Gary Lodeholt. Here's another fun fact about the sun. The sun is traveling at 137 miles per second. It is around 24,000 to 26,000 light years from the galactic center. Also, it takes the sun approximately 225 to 250 million years to complete one orbit of the center of the Milky Way. Now that's fast. Maybe you didn't realize that even when you are standing still, you are moving at 137 miles per second. And in fact, faster than that, because not only are you traveling with the sun, but you are orbiting it too. But even at that speed, it takes about 250 million years for our sun to orbit our immense galaxy. This week we are looking at times in the Bible when the sun was mentioned. And actually today I want us to consider two of those times, both of them relate to the movement of the sun. The first of those stories is found in Joshua 10, and it's an odd story. This comes at a time when the peoples of Israel were beginning to conquer the promised land and make it their own. First, the walls of Jericho had crumbled before them, and then they defeated a small city named Ai. Next, there were the inhabitants of Gibeon, but they were no fools. They saw what had happened to Jericho and Ai, and so they made peace with the Israelites and lived together with them. Well, the king of Jerusalem saw all this and recognized that his city and some others were on the upcoming target list. And so he gathered other local kings together, and they joined forces to battle Israel. When they faced off, Israel won a great battle and pursued their enemy to destroy them. There was only one problem. The day wasn't long enough to do a thorough job of defeating their opposing force, so Joshua prayed to God for more time. And that's when it happened. As it says in Joshua, the sun stopped in mid-heaven and did not hurry to set for about a whole day. There has been no day like it before or since when the Lord heeded a human voice, for the Lord fought for Israel. And what's the point? Well, it was that last line. The Lord fought for Israel. God was on their side in this battle and gave them the time they needed. Actually, God did more than that, because if you read this chapter carefully, you'll find that God rained hailstones down on Israel's enemy as well. God fought for them, and in just that same way, God is on our side too. When we are facing fears and challenges in life, we can know that God is with us, and with God there is only victory. A second passage is a bit like this with regard to the movement of the sun. In Isaiah 38, we hear the story of a prophet of God named Hezekiah who fell ill. God sent Isaiah to him to tell him his days were over and that he would die. Hezekiah, however, prayed to God, and God sent Isaiah back to him to say that God would extend his life by 13 years. And then, then Isaiah offered Hezekiah a sign that this would indeed happen. As the sun had begun to go down and the shadow on the steps to the chamber on the roof had begun to make its way downward, the shadow backed up 10 steps. It was a powerful sign. Shadows cast by the sun don't suddenly reverse their course. But they did that time. And once again, the message is that God's word is trustworthy and true. The God who can do this with the sun and shadow can do whatever else God might choose to do, including lengthening Hezekiah's time. In all this stopping and backing up, we know that our time moves inexorably forward. even so, we move forward, always with God. Thanks for watching, and remember to let this day belong to God.